prosper. Hey, 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 prosper. Hey, 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 prosper. We need to do better for our sons and our daughters. Spock said it best, live long, prosper.
Welcome back to the LLP podcast, Live Long and Prosper. I am your host, Bernard J. Rackley, and I just want to thank y'all for tapping in. Man, today we have a wonderful guest by the name of Michael Torres Jaimes, and he's a life coach who teaches energy, mindset, and strategies that create lasting change in men and women. His unique gift is to take very high-level knowledge from advanced trainings and simplify them so that anyone can learn them easily and effortlessly. And today he is living his purpose, coaching, speaking, and leading trainings that help people create a life they never need a vacation from. What? Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't want that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? That's an amazing bio, and that's an amazing thing you're doing for this world, man. So first off, man, just let my tribe know, like, how did you get here, man? Share us a little bit about your story.
Honored to be here, brother Bernard. Thank you, man. We go way back, and I just want to say I'm honored to be a guest with what you're doing, and honored to be a part of what you're doing. Just live long, prosper. It's amazing, brother, and it's really in alignment with what I'm talking about as far as what I do for a living as well. The life you never need a vacation from. Where did that come from, right? Well, throughout my whole life, I've just kind of felt like I was always trying to fit into a certain box in order to be liked, loved, and respected. And as we know, income is required in us to buy things and have things and go places that we want to go. So we're conditioned, generally, to go and try to find a job, to be able to make enough money, to be able to go do what you love, right? So I went on that path, and I didn't want to go down the ordinary path. So I went on a different path and got into lots of trouble. And through that process, I started to realize that I was very much not living a life by design. I was living a life that, like a program that I was living. And so this thing about living a life you don't need a vacation from is kind of how the company that I created came about. It's called Conscious World Changers. And what that really means is it's men and women who are willing to put in the work to go through a process of shifting their inner beliefs, their inner values, which shifts the way they see the world. And the world changer is not changing outside, but changing within of how we see things. And based upon quantum physics and the double helix experiment, for those of you that don't know, it's like waves and atoms when observed change with observation. So our observation changes things. How we see things change things. So my whole passion is helping people shift into a way that they see the world that they want to live in, and it starts with the individual self, right? So that's kind of in a nutshell a little bit about what I'm super passionate about, and I've gone through the process of certifications and life coaches, but it wasn't always what I was doing now. I hit my bricks, my downs, my struggles, and through those processes, really just about working on myself. Been through a similar seminar training that you've been through, and that helped me a tremendous amount to help me become awareness. And then I took other trainings around how to shift the mind to NLP, became a trainer and master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. And I took the two knowledges and I combined them. And I said to myself, this knowledge is so sometimes difficult to assimilate. So I was blessed with downloads from God to be able to simplify these trainings. Just about anybody can learn it really easily. And now I don't only life coach still, men and women who want to have purpose, impact, and really live a life of fulfillment and abundance. But now I train and I certify life coaches who want to create a lifestyle doing the same that I've done based upon years of experience that I've had. And I do live trainings, virtual live trainings. I also do in-person trainings. It's two paths to the same goal, which one is becoming the best version of you and helping other people do that. That's teaching the tools and the strategies that I'm super obsessed about and love. And then there's another path that runs parallel to that. I talked to you today and I asked you, what's your overall vision? And you said to me, I'm going to create a course. I'm going to create a course on meditation. And this course is going to help people, right? Help people achieve more peace, achieve more clarity. I'm guessing, right? I don't know the details of the course, right? But I'm assuming it's something around that. And so how do you do that? right? And so I help coaches build courses. I help them create their courses. I help them get their thoughts out, take all their knowledge that they have from all these trainings and put it into a course and a program, help them price their program, pitch their program. And it all starts with getting clear with who you're here to serve. I mean, there's a whole process because, as you know, you guys, like, overwhelming. Everybody says this, everybody says that. And, we'll get you to 5K in one day. And it's like, coaches are confused. They don't know what to believe, right? And so I help simplify that process so that they can, number one, make impact, and number two, make income, and that leads to the life you don't need a vacation from.
Yes, brother. Impact and income and changing the world. I mean, that world changers, man. I love that name for your company, brother. So explain more about what NLP is, man. I know I hear a lot of people talking about NLP. Can you elaborate more on that concept?
Yes, it's been around for a while. Two gentlemen founded neuro-linguistic programming, what it stands for. Neuro has to do with the mind, how the nervous system works, how the conscious and the unconscious mind actually work, right? So it's got to do with the mind. And then the L, which is linguistic, has to do with syntax of structure and communication and how we use language to communicate with others, how do we build rapport, and how do we talk to ourselves, right? How do we have that inner conversation within ourselves using what's called auditory digital, which is that inner conversation, and how to use your visual, your auditory, your kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory, your five senses, and learn how to communicate super effectively. The third part is the programming. Back then in the late 70s when it was created, and 80s, by two gentlemen, Richard Bandler and John Grinder, it was computer programming was big coming out. So they were like, hey, we're like that. We're in a way, our beliefs are in a way programmed, right? So if we can learn how to change the program, well, you change results, right? And so that's today would be called neuro-linguistic apps, probably in today's right, kind of like Neo in the Matrix, right?
Yes.
I love about neuro-linguistic programming because there's a lot of it out there. Just let me simplify it for the people. It's founded on a basic concept that's called modeling. Modeling. So you take somebody who has achieved a level of success, and the old school of thought was like, oh my God, this guy is like an anomaly. Wow, how did he do that? But what they found is that there's a certain process that they went through. And if you can model that process or the strategy that they used and put it into a process, then anybody can achieve that same level of success. So they changed the whole field of therapy and counseling, because therapy was looking at somebody and going, oh, okay, you have ADHD, right? So let's look at why you have ADHD and why this and why that. And that's traditional therapy, was looking at why and going into your past and looking at why you're broken. And what NLP did, Bandler and Grinder did, was said, let's look at people who had ADHD but no longer have it, and let's model them and how they overcame it. And that's what they did. They focused on success. But not only people that had phobias and whatnot, they looked at the best communicators, the best people in sales, the best people at hypnotherapy, like Milton Erickson, who was amazing at hypnotherapy, probably one of the best. He's no longer alive now. And they sat with him for hours and hours and hours. And he discovered that he used around 20-something language patterns in his hypnosis sessions that were helping him help his clients get fucking amazing results. And he modeled a lady named Virginia Satir, who was legendary in the field of counseling with family and relationship abuse and whatnot. And she used similar language patterns like Milton Erickson in the opposite way, and she was getting amazing results, right? So then we learned that there's different ways to use language to help somebody really create an amazing result within themselves. So this, in a nutshell, is just tools and technology that's continually evolving, which is why I'm so aligned with it, because people are evolving. And so you're constantly modeling success and teaching other people, demystifying that only the few can do it, right? And I'm sure you've heard this, right? Like, talent is awesome, but skill set, right? Practice over talent is going to always win.
Oh yeah. I was just listening to a podcast with Ed Milet last night, and they were talking about that. It's like, I mean, you have to constantly constantly be upgrading your operating system. Like I said, our minds are likened. Well, the phones are likened to our brains. You
Mm.
know, I would say more of that. It's like that came from our brain. Like someone created it from our brain. You know what I mean? So that operating system, they get updated every 2 months, every 2 or 3 months. So it will behoove us as human beings to constantly keep upgrading our mindset as well, keep upgrading our operating system as well.
Dude, that makes so much sense. I love that analogy, bro. I'm serious. It just hit me when you said that. Like, I get these little notifications on this thing, right? Or can't say radio, and it will say, right, like upgrade, right? You press it and it upgrades your whole phone. But why not look at that the same way as our minds, dude? That's a beautiful analogy, bro. I love that shit.
Yeah, man, it's powerful, man. So Michael, give us a little bit about your morning routine.
Yeah, my morning routine is let me say this with far as what's the most important about a morning routine for those of you watching, right? It's not going to be my routine, right? It's going to be that you have one. Let's just start right there. Right? The reason why is because what you're saying in a morning routine is that I'm going to make some time before I start answering this and getting involved in all of that. Because as
Mm.
soon as you pick this thing up, messages, as soon as you turn on your laptop, email, as soon as you get on the drive, traffic, right? So it's saying that it's winning the morning so that you can kind of win the day. So that's the concept of a morning routine. Now, the morning routine that you choose can vary. There's a lot of different things you can do. Some people have really simple ones. Some people just sit there with a cup of coffee and contemplate. That's simple for some people. Some people it's a little bit more like mine. I like to wake up. I beeline to the restroom, splash some water in my face, some cold water in my face, and kind of wake up. And then I go into a breathing thing that I do. And then I go into a meditation technique that I do. And then after that, it depends on the morning. I do some stretching if I have that time to do that. And then I like to get in a little bit of reading and a little bit of journaling. That to me completes. But again, I set up a lifestyle to give myself the time to do that, to set
Yes,
me up
sir.
for the day, right? But again, it's just 15 minutes. Give us 10, right? Something. And you can do there's so many YouTube things that you can do with a 10-minute process that can really set the intention for the and night routine is just as important as morning routine.
Mm.
Closing the day because you're preparing, as Wayne Dyer talks a lot about. Well, rest in peace, right? But to say that at night routine is prepping you for your night. It's prepping you for the next 8 hours, 6 hours of sleep, in which your unconscious mind is still working, right? So the night is important, as is the morning.
Okay, well, I like that. I like that. So you guys hear that, man? The nighttime routine is just as important as the morning routine. I heard someone talk about like as long as I control the bookends of my day, the the middle is going to work itself out more, more efficiently, or it's going to be more to the way I'm directing it. It's going to work out to the way that I'm seeing it. If I'm controlling the bookends of the day, then that book, the middle of the book is just going to be a lot more juicy. You know what I mean? So I like that. I know that's something that I'm struggling with right now is that night routine. Is just getting into the habit of doing that. I have a great morning routine. My night routine is it's hit or miss. So that's something I'm working with as well. So what are you reading currently? What's something that you're reading that really got you fired up?
I just want to say you saw my hand go up. I'm with
Oh,
you, brother.
yeah.
My routine is more challenging for me because I go so hard in the day. Sometimes I'm like
Yeah,
but
man.
it's important to me. Just even if it's a little bit of time, and this will lead into what I'm reading right now. Right, for me, I'm super passionate about the mindset, about helping people with their mind. That's NLP, and the reason why I'm so important about the mindset is because answering the question of what I'm reading is because I want to have a deeper, more connected relationship with God. So let me just be clear. Like, if our minds have a lot of beliefs around not feeling worthy or not good enough, and that's attached to emotions that are not haven't been processed, they become suppressed, then we literally block the downloads, the connection to our higher powers, because our higher
Mm,
power gave us free will. Free will means it doesn't force itself onto us.
mm,
And so if I don't fucking believe that I'm worthy, then I'm saying to the universe, not worthy. And the universe keeps reflecting back to me, not worthy. Right. So to what I'm reading right now, I'm focused on reading something from a gentleman who's no longer alive, and he was called Paramahansa Yogananda, and a spiritual person, and talked a lot about spirituality and meditation. I've read this thing. I've read his literature and books. I mean, 20 years ago, and I'm just revisiting it again to strengthen my spiritual connection. But that's one of my go-tos that I read, and but I also do a lot of reading on just like other stuff. Like I like Bruce Lipton. I like Joe Dispenza's work. I also do some stuff on branding and marketing. So I do a little bit of mixture of different reading to keep my mind and my knowledge to up to par. Right.
nice. Continually upgrading the operating system, brother. That's yeah,
I know.
that's amazing.
Dude, I remember seeing you posting. You were on a roll for a minute. You were reading like crazy books, and I mean, you were like on this book reading thing, and I was going like, "Wow, man, you were doing a lot of reading." So you get it, right?
I get it. I get it. This year I've slowed down a little bit. I felt like I was creating a lot of input, not enough output in a sense. So I just felt like I was reading a lot and not applying the knowledge that I've learned. You know what I mean? So I was reading 24 books a year. However, I felt like I was doing a lot of just input, and my output was just very slow. So this year I've been like, okay, let me switch gears and read minimal. I still attempt to get 5 to 10 pages a day. However, I'm more just focused on the output as of the last few months. So that's why I haven't been really posting as many books as I want to. I started the year off. I did 75 hard, so I read 3 books just out the gates. However, I started having that kind of mindset, like let me shift gears to output and put out as much as I can, and then I'll get back into ingesting the information. You know what I mean? So just to give a little bit of background on him and I, he was actually the first coach that I ever hired. You know what I mean? So I was in insurance or financial services and struggling, and a lot of times, well, I can only speak for myself. I'm gonna stay for I. So I was struggling because I had a lot of limiting beliefs, and this man came into my life and he helped break up a lot of that. You know what I mean? So hiring a coach, I read a quote the other day and it said everyone deserves a coach, and I was like, damn, like that's true. Like this man came and gave me a lot of his time and a lot of his energy, and I haven't gone to therapy or anything like that. However, it was different. I know some people that do go to therapy, they go for like an hour. We sat for like 8 to 10 hours one day, just going crazy. And I was like, dude, like he's asking me these weird ass questions. I'm like, bro, like, and it was mind blowing the effect
Yeah.
that it had. So like I told you in the beginning, I wanted to give you your flowers
Yeah.
because one of the things that I was struggling with was anxiety at the time.
Mhm.
And brother, I haven't had that feeling since then, brother. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I mean, I have a few other tools that I use as well. However, I really feel that was a benchmark moment in my life, a defining moment in my life, because before I met you, I felt a certain way. After I
Mhm.
met you, I felt a certain way. So in that interim, I know that your energy, your work did help me a lot, brother. So I just wanted to give you your flowers and say thank you for what you did for me, brother. Because I know that has helped me live a much more, you know, a, I say calmer life. And not to say I don't ever feel anxiety. However, that feeling that I had before I met you,
Mhm.
haven't had it since, brother.
Yeah. Wow, man. I'm so happy. I'm so honored. And that goes to you too, brother. I want to say that being coachable is actually a skill set.
Mm,
People don't
mm,
realize that, right? Because being coachable means you have to be willing to like listen, you have to be willing to be open, you have to be willing to disclose and be vulnerable, and those aren't easy to do. So that goes to you, and you're one thing I love about you, Bernard, is that this man right here. I'm sure you guys all know you're on his channel, but my channel as well. This guy's not. afraid to go there with the work and courageously go into those uncomfortable places to come out shining on the other end. So it's coaching is a do with process. You don't do it to anybody. It's you do it with somebody. And when that other somebody is like a Bernard who's like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's get down in there and is willing to get into those trenches to uncover the learned behavior, which is all it was, learned beliefs. That's not who you truly are. And so I looked at it like who you are is so much more than the condition that you were brought up in. You know what I mean? And that's what most people are walking around with a condition of how they were raised, not how they truly are. So you got to be able to step back and pierce through the limiting thing that's happening and see the soul and then be able to ask right questions, right? Use the right tools to help bring out what's already. So all I did was bring out what was already in you. And anxiety is just a future base, right? You're worried about something because of evidence from the past, and we got rid of that shit, and so the anxiety went away. But we're human, right? You still have moments of that, and I've done a lot of work, and I still have moments where I feel it. But Tony Robbins had a great thing. He was asked in the interview. He said they asked him, do you ever experience like sadness or emotions or limiting beliefs or and he sat there and he said it really nicely. He said, I'm human and I still have those moments. However, he goes, after what I've been through, right? The four fathers that passed away and the ups and downs in business and stock market crashes and being sued for millions of dollars, right? He goes, it takes a lot because I've built the psychological muscle to be able to handle shit. And it's fucking true, bro. Life is not going to get any fucking easier, guys, but we got to get stronger. We got to build that muscle, that psychological muscle, get a deeper relationship with God so that we know we're never alone. It's always all good. No matter what, COVID or whatever vid or whatever monkey, whatever that has going on out there. You're going to be able to be like, boom, because it's always changing outside of ourselves, right?
Oh, man.
Right? You know this, right? Yeah, figures of the choir, bro. This guy's story is incredible where he's come out of and how you've come out of that programming, bro, to create the man you are today, bro, is inspiring to me, right?
Oh yeah. Well, thank you, brother.
Yeah. It's like I got a this blank thing here, right? It's my little drawing board, right? And it's like a blank canvas every day, and we get to draw every single day on that blank canvas who you want to be and step into that, right?
Man, you hitting all the things because it's crazy, man. Like, and I love how the mind works. I love how this whole thing works. I believe like when you're clear, things just connect a lot more smoothly. You know what I mean? So for instance, you're talking about gym and psychological muscle. Well, today I was thinking the same thing this morning. I was talking to my buddy, and I'm like, dude, like I go to the gym to get my physical muscle up. I can go to church and get spiritual muscle. I was like, well, where do you go to get emotional muscle? You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that I have PSI, and over the weekend I got to strengthen that muscle. And I'm like, most people don't even know that are even aware of things are like this. Or things are like out there. I talked to my buddy, and I mean, not going to get into his story what he believes. However, it's just interesting that a lot of people don't even. I don't think they're even aware that they're weak there. So it's nothing that he can even think about strengthening. However, over the weekend it was just like, man, like I come here every few months, just like I need to go. I need to come here every few months, just like I need to go to the gym every day. Like it's necessary for me, and I think it's necessary for everyone. I mean, it's possible for everyone. And even like I met a couple of cats in there that were multimillionaires yesterday, and it made me say like, dude, these people aren't doing bad. However, they do want to do better in some area, and it's and I think a lot of people look at personal development as like, oh, that's for you. I'm not doing bad. It's like, no, you could be doing good and want to do greater. You could be doing great and want to do your greatest. Like there's always a next level. However, if you're not emotionally strong to see that, that's where a lot of the limits come in.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, brother. That's what separates coaching from also therapy and whatnot and personal growth is it's not that you have to be doing bad. It's like it's just another skill set. I mean, this is why corporations hire coaches for the top executives because there's next levels. People hit ceilings. We get stumps. We hit roadblocks, right? And success, money is not the only type of success. You know this, right? It's not, there's other types of success. Like I know you're
Oh
big
yeah.
on health and what you eat. You don't take care of that. Good fucking luck. All your money, you're gonna be in the goddamn freaking grave.
Exactly. It's like, why would I want all this money and I got to keep my shirt on at the beach? That's crazy. Like that's crazy to me. Like if I have all this money, I'm able to go to Hawaii, the Bahamas. I'm definitely want to have my shirt off and have some kind of self confidence where I'm like, hey, bro, I'm about to peel off and I'm about to go enjoy this lobster on the beach with the shirt peeled. Like what the hell? Like that's crazy to me. So I see some people that are just like they're just out of balance and that it's okay. Like I said, I think the first step is
Mm,
admitting that's not a problem.
mm,
However, establishing that point A and getting to that point B,
mhm,
if you don't ever stop and establish that point A and say, hey, this is where I am
mm,
and this is where I want to go, then it's just a bunch of bullshit. You know what I
mm.
mean?
Yeah,
So
call it
it's
what it is,
you
baby.
gotta call it's bullshit. You know, it's bullshit. Or we can say BS as belief system as well. You know,
Yeah,
the BS is the BS.
yeah,
However, like I said, I mean, who the hell wants to go to the beach with their shirt on? You know what I mean? Come on, let's peel it off. Let's go.
yeah. It's definitely a harmony or whatever you want. Where people like some people like the word balance, but it is spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Those are all important quadrants that four bodies that we have.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
they're all important. They're all
yes
important.
sir.
So I'm with you, brother.
Yes, sir, man. So I see you. Are you back in California? Or you still in Hawaii?
No, I'm living in California now because I met the most amazing woman ever, and it's like she lived out here, so I moved over here, and we've been living together for like close to a year now, and it's been amazing, man. We just did a training couple weeks ago. Did our first live. I did a master level NLP certification training, which I've been wanting to do for the last 5 years. Finally did it, and my girlfriend, she was part of that whole process, and just feeling
Nice.
really good with some of the stuff going on. We got a training coming up. I got a free webinar coming up. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be over, but it's September 1st. But I have trainings for the rest of the year as well, and so anyone listening to this, definitely hit me up. I'll be more than happy to give you guys a discount.
Okay,
I'll be
yeah.
what it is.
I'll definitely.
And you got a ticket. You got a free ticket, bro. I'm gonna get you in. I'm gonna
I
get
know.
you
I know you've been attempting to get me in there, man. I know that's something I
in.
need, man. I actually one of your students, Andrew, helped
Yeah.
me out. Yeah, Andrew helped me out last Thursday. He came in and man, his energy was off the charts, man. I was like, okay, yeah. Michael's in his bag right now. He's in his bag right now. He's producing some great students, man. I saw he had the eye of the tiger, brother. I was like, okay,
He's
yeah.
transformed. I was just at an event with his mom. She had a 5-year event because she bought her own building. You know Melinda, right? They're doing great things out there in the mortgage world. And so I went out there and she was just, it was so good to hear. She goes, my son's been doing so amazing, but since you've been working with him, it has been, I've seen leaps and bounds. And he's 27 years old. And now he's
Yeah.
coaching the whole team.
That's what I heard. I'm like, man, I can see it in his eyes though. Like he had the eye of the tiger, bro. I'm like, man, for a 27-year-old to have that much, like his purpose was like on point. You know what I mean? I could see it in his eyes. Like he was like, it wasn't no wavering in him. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
that's amazing. To 27, I'm like, wow. I mean, given that his mother has done the thing she has done as well. I mean, and I know she's pouring back into him. However, I know that it wasn't no easy role for them as well, and to see where they're at or where she's at and where she's bringing her whole family up is just it's inspiring to me. You know what I mean? I have she's actually doing one of the presentations for our basic, and I'm excited. Like I'm like, yeah, man, I know she's gonna rock it, man.
She's cool.
She's awesome, man. She's awesome, man. So what challenges in your life has shaped you into the person that you are today?
There's been a few good ones. I'd say one of the biggest ones was when I did, like Tony Robbins said, when I burnt the boats. I went on the island and I burnt the boats. And that was 2017. I had been in the field for over 20 years, but just studying and learning. Took a lot of trainings throughout that time and knew, not always, but that I wanted to do something. I wanted to help people somehow. And you had this insight. You go to a seminar and you're like, wow, you see things differently. And what do you want to share with the people that you care about? Just human nature, right? You want to share with something good, but you don't know how to do it. And then you're like, okay, you share it, you get people into the training, but then you wake up one day and you go, what if I just did this all the time? And this is all I did. And I actually made a living doing it. So that was something that I was sitting in for a very long time. And when I made that leap, which is like that was like 2017, bro. That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
That was one of the first leaps. I had made the leap before I coached you, but it was a scary fucking leap. And I remember I was sitting there and I was having this like, okay, I'm gonna go take the NLP master training, and I was saving my money. I was driving Uber and I crashed the Uber car. That was belonged to someone that I knew. It wasn't my car. So could have had his insurance pay for it, but I just felt the right thing to do was to pay for it myself. So his insurance didn't go through because it was a commercial vehicle. So I paid for it, and that was my savings that I had saved. And I remember freaking sitting there, bro. I was so sad. I was living with Dreamy at the time. You know Dreamy, right? I was living with her. We're in a room with her, and she just said, "You know what? You can't stay here anymore because it's just too crowded." So I had to leave there at the same time I crashed this car. And I was just sitting there going like, are you kidding me, God? Like, I'm trying so hard, and like car crash, no money. I got to move out, and I want to do this training. And so I go to the first level training again to tell the owner that I can't make the master level because I crashed the car. And he gets in there, and I'd been doing a lot of like free work in a nonprofit called Emerging Leaders. I was teaching empowerment classes for free, not getting paid, for about 2 years. So he knew I was doing that, and I was posting some stuff on Facebook. And he says, I walk in there, and he says, I see the work you're doing with people who are addiction and in and out of prison, and I want to support what you're doing. He goes, I'm going to scholarship you into this master level training. And it wasn't free, but it was scholarship. It was reduced because they're expensive, right? It was largely reduced. And I sat there, Bernard, and he said that to me, bro. The feeling is like, holy shit. It's like, thank you, God. Some light, because it was so dark, right? And that's when I knew, like, okay, I need to do this step. But I was still broke. I was doing this training, but I still need to figure out where am I going to live. So I started calling everybody that I knew. Can I stay in your couch? Can I stay in your couch? And I finally found somebody, David Peckham. Say, stay on my couch. So I stayed on his couch. And then I went to the trainer's training. So I took the master level, and then I became a trainer. So it was a whole month of training that I did all day, 7 days a week. So there was like 1 day in between off. And then after that, bro, was when I said, I'm not going to do anything other than this. And I went out and I got hired by a foreclosure defense law firm, started teaching that company values and team building. And then I started to reach out to everybody that I knew. Hey, I'm here to serve you. Can I be your life coach? I didn't have any real strategies. I just reached out to people, started to get clients, and I did good. I was like, wow, I'm doing this, but I was still struggling until I took a 1-year-long coaching program, got certified as a life coach, learned branding, marketing, and the skills of the life coaching. And then that year hit 6 figures. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually do this, right? And it was like, oh. And then I just kept taking other branding, and I hired other companies. And since just keep investing and learning. And that led me to getting hired by a company that then hired me to become a lead trainer. So now I'm traveling the country certifying life coaches. And I never planned on doing that. And I was I don't know if you remember back in Facebook, I was like all over the fucking place, traveling here, traveling there. Small classes, 15, 20 people, but I was certifying life coaches. Did that for 2 years. Certified over 1,000 life coaches, did about 50 classes.
Wow.
And I left that company and said, it's time to build my own company. So that's about 2 years ago. And I built Conscious World Changers. And now I get to really do the thing that I meant to do. Because when you work for another company, you kind of got to follow their way, right? And now I can create and really see how I can put together different trainings. And I got a good team now behind me that's working with me, and another trainer that's working with me. And my girlfriend backs me up. And it's just like you said, man, God's so good. And it's been such a journey to get here. So I just want to encourage everybody listening to this. Like, don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your thing. Yeah, it gets tough, but look for that little bit of light and just hang on to that fucking thing, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like you said, that little bit of light. I think it's Rumi who said like that crack in your armor is like where that light can shine in. It could be a little crack. You know what I mean? It could be a littlest crack. However, that little bit of light is the hope. and that's the hope for humanity. That's the hope for our dreams. Like, yeah, man, there's always a silver lining, you know what I mean? And as long as we got air in our breath, I mean, breath in our lungs, you know, air in our body, got the mind to create some things. You got the chance, the opportunity to do some great things in this life, man. And I appreciate you for everything that you're doing, my man.
Yeah, and likewise for you, man. You know, you definitely walk the talk. That's one thing I can say about you, man. You know, you're out there and you're this podcast right here, and just, you know, you're writing your book. I can't wait to read it.
Oh man, come on, we just gonna call me out like that, huh?
It's gonna come. It's gonna come, and you know, and then you got your course coming up, and let me know how I can support you with that. I'd love to help you out, brother. You're doing great things as well. We're both doing it. We're just along this journey, and it's not a competition. It's just a journey.
Exactly, brother. And I'm grateful for the assistance that you have made in my journey. You know what I mean? So one of the last questions we're going to ask is what does prosperity mean to you?
Prosperity, when I think of it, it's just really doing what you love, to me, and enjoying life. Enjoying life, because you know how's that saying go? Like, there's no wait, there's no U-Haul on the back of a hearse or something like that, right?
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I coach people. I coach coaches on creating great income, and it's about the impact for me more than the income, right? And so for me, it's more about being in a moment, enjoying, and I kind of went the opposite. I don't chase the money. I create a lifestyle. I visualize a lifestyle, and the money shows up to support my lifestyle. And I have a great lifestyle. And there's another level. There is income goals I have, but prosperity is more than just money. It's important, and money, and I love it. I mean, I don't have any baggage on money. I used to. Now it's like I love the energy. It's just energy, and you can do more. You can help more people, right? I think it was. I saw this thing. I wanted to. This is so funny. Dude. I saw Pitbull. He was on his interview, the singer Pitbull, and he was saying about he was asked about money doesn't buy happiness, right, or something like that. And he says he was having a conversation with somebody. I'm sure I remember this. He was having a conversation with somebody about that. And he said, money doesn't buy happiness because you haven't given it away to help other people yet. And it does, right? And that's the thing, right? You got money and you can help other people with it. Why wouldn't that buy happiness? Sure, that's a great thing to do, right?
Great thing, brother. Great thing. I mean, that's I think it was Jim Rohn who said something similar. He's like, they say money don't. Whoever says money don't buy happiness just don't know where to shop. He's like, shit, you crazy. You know, you're like, with all this impact I can do, like with all this good I can do with this money, I can do bad too. I mean, it's like I said, money just reveals who you are. You know, like money just makes you become more of who you already are. If you're a jerk, money just gonna make you become more jerky. However, if if you're a good individual,
yeah,
money can do some great things for these people in this world. I mean, I was watching this one guy, and then sometimes I don't like the like when people do stuff for others and then film it. However, I believe that sometimes watching the impact of what they just did. So this guy, he's on YouTube. I forget his name. He goes out and he like he'll give a homeless person like some food. He'll say he wants some food, and he'll have it in like a white styrofoam thing, and it'd be like $100, $200, like just stacked in there. You know what I mean? And he'll just walk away real quickly, like, "Hey, you guys, you hungry?" And it's like, "Yeah." And he'll walk away real fast, and the guy's filming it, you know. And the guy opened it, and he'll just look around. He's like, and like they just like everybody just cries so much, and it's like. And they're like, damn, like, you know, $100 might not seem like nothing to us, you know, who make a ton of money. However, someone that's down on their luck, you give them $100, like that's like they have a place to sleep for the night, they have food for a week, like it's so much good that you can do. And I was just like, man, it just warmed my heart, even though it was for his YouTube page, he was getting paid off of it. See, but the reaction how it was playing out, I was just like, man, like that's like you said, just giving it away and letting it do for others what they need done for them. Man, I don't think there's probably no better feeling than doing that, you know.
Yeah, and I want to say this just before you hang up, for anybody out there that wants to help other people make a living and are struggling, make money part of your spiritual practice.
Mm. So how do you mean?
Like, make making money part of your spirituality, because
Mm.
what happens too often, brother, is people, they make money over here, but when it comes to making money and helping other people, they feel that they shouldn't
Mm.
because of some program or society. And I'm going to call BS on all that, because you deserve it. And so make it part of your spiritual practice so that there's no guilt.
Mm.
And I want to encourage that, because there's a lot of great people who are doing great things who are living very below means, and it's because they don't value themselves.
Mm. I like
It's
that.
one of the things that I help the coaches do is I help them create a great income helping people.
Mm.
I mean, not out of integrity. Don't sell a product that's not, And I know some coaches, I'm not going to say any names, who are overcharging for
Mm.
their service. I do that too. Charging 30 for like a 3-month package that they don't even have the skill set to really be. But I'm not hating, but being mindful, like, got to be in integrity.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
the
Yes,
coaching
sir.
like the Wild Wild West, and it's kind of going into this place where it's more about income. It's what I see a lot of it out there, and it's like how much money you make, how much money you make, and it's sad because it's about how much impact you make. It really is about the impact you make. I mean, that's what the company Constant World Changers is about. It's about impact. It's about, and same concept aside, one mind at a time. Aside, right? Constant World Changers help one perception at a time. Just help one person. Help that person. Help one person. Well, you change starts with you. Be the change you want to see, like good old wise Gandhi, right? It said, and just right fucking there. Work
Yes,
on you.
sir.
Work on you.
Oh yeah, it's the trickle down effect, not like the Ronald Reagan days. However, this energy is a trickle down effect, and like you said, one mind leads to another mind, and each one teach one. And I love it, brother. I love it. So last question of our podcast. So, what's your favorite quote, and who is it by?
Gosh, I guess the first thing it comes to mind is it's from it's not from a person, it's from a book, and the book wasn't claimed to have any author. It's a
Mm.
book called the Urantia book,
Mm.
and in that book there was a quote that as soon as you said it came to mind. It says this. It says that anxiety. Hey, this is but we talked about in the beginning, right? Anxiety must be abandoned. The disappointments that are the hardest to bear are the disappointments that never happen or never come.
Mm. Mm. Can you
So
repeat that one more time? Can you repeat that one more time? That's deep.
it's a deep coach. It's a deep
Yeah.
quote. So anxiety, right, must be abandoned. Means let it go. Why? Because in life, the biggest disappointment is when we're worried about something that never even fucking happens. It was a complete waste of time.
Wow.
That's my
Wow.
favorite quote, because I found myself, Bernard, in times worrying about something, giving it fucking energy, bro, and the shit doesn't even fucking happen. It turned out okay. It's so good. Like, what a complete waste of time. And sometimes it does happen, and not just because we also can create that thing too, right? It's like, so why worry? I think worrying is one of the most wasted types of energy that we can have. It doesn't solve any problem at all. Worrying about something. It's like the
Right.
complete waste of fucking time.
I agree.
So
I
that
agree,
quote
brother.
helps me remind myself, like, don't worry, Michael. Oh, you took a little hit this month financially. Don't worry. Oh, that didn't work out. Don't worry. Oh, somebody banged into my car. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. That's the attitude that I try to live by, like
Mm.
not worrying about things. Because when I work with clients, right, they're 35, 40, 50, 60 years old, and they start worrying. And I go, look back at your life. You made it this far. What makes you think you're not going to keep making it based
Mm.
upon all the evidence we fucking got of 60 years? And they go, right.
Man, that's amazing, man. Well, it was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure catching up with you. Pleasure having this great conversation, man. I know my High Vibe tribe is going to really, really enjoy this. So let us know that where we can find you at online.
Yeah, real simple. Michael, Michael, Torres, middle name, and then my last name, JAIMES.com.
Okay.
Michael Torres Jaimes. That's my website. That's my Facebook. That's my Instagram. That's my YouTube. It's the same thing. That's my email, Michael Torres Jaimes at Gmail. It's all the same.
That's branding, baby. That's branding. He's branded. So Michael Torres Jaimes. I love you, brother, man. And
You too, bro.
definitely looking to catch up soon, man. Let's get together in person, do some lunch sometime, man. And
Sure.
appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. So thank you for coming on our show. You've been a wonderful, wonderful guest. And just gonna close with my tagline, man. Keep going and keep growing, y'all. Let's get it. All right, Mike. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Later.
All right, brother.
Prosper. Hey, hey, hey. Prosper. Hey, hey, hey. Prosper. We need to do better for our sons and our daughters. Spock said it best. Live long. Prosper.